when I talk on the podcast, this isn't a show, bro. Like, literally, this is how I talk with my family. And it took a little minute for my family to realize, like, this is how I am and shit. But it's all good, bro. Like, I'm not over here like, my family doesn't like me and all this shit. Like, no, bro. Like, this is fucking real life shit. And if you want to be a bitch because, like, people make fun of you or you feel like your family, doesn't accept you, then, bro, like, you just gotta figure your shit out, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you because, like,
Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the gods hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the gods hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the gods hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the gods hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now. While the angels fly over my headstone.
We are back with another episode of the God's Hour podcast with your boy Big Serbs, back in the motherfucking place to be, La Merca Superior. Palace 81 Productions, numero 67, yes. Episode number 67, we live and direct, bruh. Finally, I get to put on a fucking hoodie or a sweater or something because it's raining, it's pouring, the old bitch is snoring or whatever fucking phrase it is. So, it's been raining unusually for since 2 in the morning. It's been raining, and I always love waking up to the rain. I was born and it was raining and shit. So basically, I love the rain. I love the cold. I'd rather be cold and freezing my ass off than to be in the heat. Who loves the heat, bro? If you like sweating and shit, then move to Florida, bro. What are you doing over here? But Cali is just a really good place in general to live in if you don't like it being hot all the time or cold all the time. You know what I mean? You could pretty much get it in how you feel over here in the Sunshine State, or is that New York? The Golden State. Wow. Not silver, not bronze, not topaz. It's the Golden State. Yes, California. That's where I reside. Over the weekend, it was a nice weekend, you know what I mean? I saw Black Adam. Black Adam was a good fucking movie, man. Very, very a well-needed breath of fresh air. Batman was another great movie too, but it was just more so Batman was more so a darker movie, more cerebral, you know what I mean? I wouldn't necessarily define it as a superhero movie. I would say it's more of a thriller, more suspense. If this was anything else besides if you just replace Batman with a fucking real detective, it would be a thriller movie. You get what I mean? Black Adam was another breath of fresh air to where it was just it was about a character who was not a superhero, bro. He was really a villain, and he was the character Black Adam. Obviously, if you don't read the comic books, he's kind of the darker opposite of Shazam. Shazam is basically a kid and shit versus Black Adam is an old dude already, not physically, but he's old already. He's thousands of years old, and he's living, and he's pretty much a god. Not necessarily god powers, but just he has the electricity. And in the movie, he kills fools. He takes no prisoners, doesn't pull no punches. And the movie ended up being very, very entertaining, humorous to me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Definitely one of the best movies of the year. Definitely one of the best movies in the past 5 years for sure. But one quote that I really like was when he's awakened after 5,000 years or whatever. He was granted his powers, and then the wizards or whatever that gave him his powers took it away, sealed him in a tomb. And during the movie, the one of the protagonists, she calls his name. She calls Shazam, and then he comes out like a fucking genie in a bottle, and he fucking kills everybody. And while he doesn't understand Earth, like wherever he goes back to wherever he's like wherever he's from, he doesn't recognize it. So back when he first got his powers, there was like, it was like before Egyptian time, so everything was like primitive, versus in the present day world, it was, we got laptops, there's billboards and high rises and shit like that. And especially at that point, it's all being under siege. The city is being under siege by like a paramilitary organization that is kind of like taking control over his like place. And when like this kid, the protagonist's son, is telling him all he has like and it gives me like it gives you like great foreshadowing of the next movies they want to do. So they have all the Justice League. This kid has all the Justice League members on his wall. So he has Batman, Superman, Aquaman, the Flash. I think he has Wonder Woman. And so I think he rips through one of the posters or somehow like that. So I think it might have been Superman, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But the kid is explaining to Black Adam, we got this, we got that, we got lunch boxes, and Black Adam, the Rock, he just looks at him and he's like, my lunch doesn't need boxes. And that killed me, bro. In the theater, I was laughing. I was like just enjoying myself, having a good time. There was only like 3 other people in the movie theater, which blew my mind. I was like, bro, this movie just came out. I thought it got good reviews. So I was like, where's everybody at? There was like, and at the end, I was like clapping, like, that's how you do it, baby. This is how you make a fucking superhero movie, by incorporating everybody. It don't gotta be all about the good guys. The good guys don't always have to win. They already did this with Suicide Squad. If Suicide Squad flopped, Black Adam wouldn't have happened for sure. But Suicide Squad was basically a movie about villains. And so they can't make it all the way about a villain movie where they take over the world. I understand that. But they made it in a way where the villains were the good guys. And in this movie, it's the same scenario. The villain happens to be a good guy compared to like the other superheroes that are in there and the villains. And I just don't want to spoil anything, but it was just a great movie from front to end. The writing was great. The story was great. The characters was great. It had it all, you know what I mean, that you would want in a supervillain movie, and I think they pulled it off great. I feel like they should do more movies like this with Doctor Doom, DC, Darkseid. That'd be a great movie to do, Darkseid. Maybe even Apocalypse or something. Maybe not so Apocalypse, but, something of that nature. Red Lantern, that'd be a great movie. Just a bunch. I just see a bunch of potential in what I've seen with Black Adam. And in the end, spoiler alert for everybody, the post credits, it looks as if they're gonna make like a Black Adam versus Superman movie, which might become like Justice League versus Superman or Shazam versus Black Adam or something like that. I'm all for it. And what they were saying was Justice League connects to Suicide Squad, which connects to Black Adam, which connects to Shazam, or however they're gonna do it. I hope it's a lot better than the Justice League movie, because I heard a lot of people shit on the Justice League movie, even with the Schneider cut or whatever fucking cut came out that was like 3.5 fucking hours or whatever. I just know that I didn't see the rest of the movies. I don't know if they made I just saw Batman vs Superman, and that's it. I didn't see Wonder Woman. I didn't see Flash. I didn't see Aquaman if they made the movies. I'm not even sure if they made those movies, you know what I mean? That's how much out of the loop I am, because I'm doing my own thing. But with the Justice League shit, I just wasn't in tune with it. And hopefully, if they do like a movie where they incorporate everybody, the Justice League, Black Adam, Shazam, Suicide Squad, that they do it the right way. So far, they're taking those baby steps, which I like. It's not like how did, Batman versus Superman? Like, okay, like Superman and Batman, they just met each other. Like they're like, you know what I mean? Like it's not like there was no build up. It was okay. I don't know where Superman meets Batman somewhere down the line. Wonder Woman was already in the equation. Like I would rather have movies like the way Marvel does it, where they just take their time and they do it movie by movie. They just take you baby steps, baby steps. We had Iron Man. From the first Iron Man, I think they mentioned the Avengers or something like that. So you knew kind of where they were going, but from Iron Man to Avengers, it was 4 years because they had to develop Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Captain America, Black Widow. Like they had to take it all in steps before they gave you the big movie. You know what I mean? Which I thoroughly enjoy. Now with the Marvel movies though, I'm really not enjoying the whole fact that fucking, they're like a lot of Marvel movies I feel like just aren't that great. I didn't think the Black Widow movie was all that great, where she had her own Avengers team and all that. I just didn't really like some of the movies because either the writing was like or like the story was just kind of convoluted or sped up or something. Black Adam just seemed like a movie where they were like, okay, we seen what Iron Man did. It was just a solid movie, and then we're kind of just gonna pace it that way. That's how they should do it. Just focus on making great standalone movies with great writing, and with that, I feel like they could just connect all the movies together. It doesn't have to be like fucking, you know what I mean? This happens, that happens, this happens, this connects to that. It could just kind of be loose or something like that. I don't really like the movies where you have to watch all the other ones, thoroughly. Like, when they mentioned this, you had to have paid attention to that little ass detail that fucking, this other movie had. I kind of like when the movies are, you get the idea, you know what I mean? Captain America, he was frozen in ice, he came back, they mentioned it just very briefly in a few of the movies that came after it. Didn't spend that much time on it. We keep it moving because the meat and potatoes of the movie is the action, the writing, and the story. And as long as we get those three key things together, we're gonna have a great movie. And that's just how I feel about it. I'm gonna give Black Adam an 8.8 out of 10. I can't remember the last time or a movie where I was like, fuck, man, like another half hour of this shit. Like the whole time I was like, something's happening, Black Adam is introduced. He takes care of some shit which conflicts with some other superheroes. They come in, they get their action going on, they settle it. Another conflict arises. Black Adam does some shit the superheroes don't like, so they're kind of conflicted about it, but then they settle it, and then that's like the end of the movie. It's not something bad happens, we need a superhero, the superhero comes, kicks everyone's ass, saves the day. No, it's very like, it takes you for a ride, you know what I mean? It's not a straight up and down. It's a very, very thoroughly great movie that, you know what I mean, I can't praise anymore for it. It's just, I love watching great movies. I don't like watching bad movies. A lot of bad movies are out there now. You got the dumbass movie Pray for the Devil. That was right across the movie. I seen that with my pop. I'm like, look at this shit. That's the movie. I feel bad for people. Just titles sound dumb. The Nun, Pray for the Devil. We could just go on for days. Michael meets Jason versus fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The Freddy Part 8, this time he's a pizza guy. Or just some of these movies with the title tells you everything. Pray for the Devil. Sounds like a dumbass movie. Black Adam. Like, oh, okay. Like, you already got me, bro. Like, what the fuck you mean Black Adam? You know what I mean? So there's certain clues and hints that give it away. But I just love great movies. That's another great movie. Another great movie I didn't finish watching, but like, my dad fucking the amount of like restroom breaks and like phone calls he gets and all that. It'll take like 8 hours to watch a fucking 2 hour movie, bro. And that's like no cap, bro. It like really frustrates the fuck out of me. It'll take us it took us a whole month to watch the Mandalorian series. A whole month. One season. Bro, do you know how fucking angry that got me? I watched the whole Mandalorian, or was it the second season? Or I think it was the second season in like 1 week or like 3 or 4 days or something like that. You know, when I'm into a show, I want to watch it all and I want to talk about it and I want to watch the next shit because that's how much of a fan I am. That's how much I love just great shows or movies. You know what I mean? There's few and far like shows and movies used to be super separate. Now I feel like a great show is like the same as like a movie, if that makes sense. Like if it's just 1 hour, that's like half a movie right there. And if you could get my attention for the whole movie, then or for the whole hour, then it's good. Andor has a problem with that. Andor, you know, it's a lot of like filler and like where's this going, and it's just a whole lot of build up that you got to pay attention to for like a little like a little action. You know what I mean? I don't like that, bro. I like to be on the edge of my seat. It doesn't need to have all this action in it. It just has to have like, it just needs to make sense. Black Adam, there wasn't action the whole way, but the story, it kept you on your toes. Versus Andor, it's kind of like, okay, we're talking about parsecs and Star Wars shit and made up words and shit. That's not real. I'm not a geek like that, bro. Like, I'm not really going to be fascinated by shit that's just make believe. You know what I mean? You got to really get me going you got to get my attention to watch this shit. So that's Andor. I still got like maybe 2 episodes. I'll finish Andor. We'll recap it here. But Black Panther, I didn't finish it. But so far, I just really love the messages with Black Panther. I feel like there's a lot of like underlying themes and just like messages that are in the movie that I really like betrayal, loyalty, heritage, tradition, prejudice, a lot of political. It's just a great movie. I already knew like Black Panther got a really big like praise when it came out, but to me back around then I was like, man, another superhero movie, here we go, like it's just gonna be the same shit and everyone, oh my god, it's a 5-star, it's an Academy Award winning for Grammy nominee, Emmy or whatever the fuck, and I don't have time for that shit, bro. I really just wanna, if it's worth it, you know, I'll watch it, and if it's not, I'm not gonna watch it at all. Like Justice League, everybody talks shit about it, I didn't watch it, who gives a fuck, we on to the next shit, you know what I mean? But with Black Panther, it was great. It reminded me of Black Adam. Great writing, great story. Just the language, like the whole African, like they actually got like made Wakanda, modeled Wakanda and all the stuff after like real African tribal things, traditional culture. So I just really like that. I really love the story, and it wasn't, to me, it wasn't really funny. It was just more so drama, which kind of, I like that. I don't want to watch every movie that has comedy in it. Like, it was really more serious, and there was like kind of like humor in it, but it wasn't like a comedy movie. This was really like, okay, like there's a serious problem that is happening, and in that it takes you through like this nice enjoyable kind of like scene after scene of Black Panther and like his way of life, which collides with our modern way of living, and you see that in the movie, and it's awesome because it's one of those like it's a plot twist to where you think this one, the antagonist is the main antagonist, but then it's like 360, like, oh shit, like you didn't even really see, you kind of were like seeing, you know, you kind of like, oh, okay, this might not be the main cheese, the head cheese of this shit, and then but like when it hits you, you're like, oh shit, like fucking now the real movie is starting, you know what I mean? So Black Panther, I'll give a 9.1. I really liked it. It's just slightly more than Black Adam. That's why I'm giving it. That's why I'm giving it a 9.1. Probably the best Marvel movie. Yeah, because I really like Iron Man, but Iron Man didn't have all that like great writing and shit. It's just like a good movie. Yeah, I'll give Black Panther probably the best Marvel movie for sure. Yeah. I'm not gonna watch the other 50 fucking Marvel movies. I mean, I might, cause I kind of do want to watch everything again, just so it's all like refreshing my mind for Secret Wars. Cause I'm hyped for Secret Wars. The way they're setting Secret Wars up with the Black Suit Spider-Man, with Kang, with Doom, possibly Silver Surfer. I'm like really hyped. Galactus even might be in there. It's really like got me on the edge of my seat, and I really do want to watch all the other Marvel movies. So like it's refreshing my mind because I haven't watched any of the Marvel movies in order, like any of them. Like up until like Avengers, I seen like them all in order. But after that, it was kind of like I would go back. Like now, I'm going back to Black Panther. The Panther 2 is already out now, and yeah, like Spider-Man. I saw 1 and 3. I didn't even see 2. I'm probably gonna have to. I'll probably watch it, bootleg it and shit, and give a review about that. But I love movies, and that's all it is with me because I love being entertained. When this music shit, I just wrote a song right now, not right now, but today I just finished a song with the homie NC. To be entertained, or to be entertaining, you got to be entertained. You know what I mean? I think Paul Mooney said that, or somebody. Black Panther's a great movie. I don't know if the end, if there's post credits, but I definitely want to see what the post credits are so I could see what the next movie is, because I'm always intrigued about that. Because Black Panther Presley, what are you doing, man? Relax. Because by the end of Black Panther, I want to see the next shit, because I think after Black Panther I don't think it was Infinity War, but Endgame for sure came after. I want to say Endgame came after Black Panther. So that was Saturday. Sunday. Pum, 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 pum. Sunday. Okay. Oh, and also too, before we go into Saturday, after I saw Black Adam, it was Dratini Community Day. For those of you who don't know, that's Pokemon Go. They have a community day where they pick one Pokemon and they kind of make a whole event out of that one Pokemon. So we had Dratini, which is a little dragon type Pokemon. And I think Dratini Community Day, the first one, because they're doing like classics, so they're bringing back certain Pokemon that are like fan favorited. So I think the original Dratini Community Day was in 2017, I want to say. So 5 years since the first one, so they brought it back. I played with the homies Luis and Jacob. Shout out to them. It was really cool, man, because usually I play by myself at the mall, and it kind of sucks. Pokemon Go really isn't a game for you to play by yourself. It's really a game that you kind of want to play with other people, be involved with the community, and it's just a better, like they give you like more, like an incentive to play the game with other people. So that's why I kind of like it more with the homies. And basically we were just like cracking jokes, catching, like it became more than a game. Than playing a game for me. It was like an experience, like just a fun time with the homies. So we're just catching Dratinis, and it was cool. Like, oh, how many shinies you got? I got this. Like you suck. And then Luis, I don't think he had any shiny. A shiny Pokemon is really rare. So if you in Community Day, I think it's 1 in 35 Pokemon are shiny, and he ended up with like 20 or something like that, and I only got like 16. But like at the start of it, he only had 1, and I think I had 4. And at the beginning, I was like, sucks for you. But by the end, you know what I mean, I had less than everybody else. But it was fine, you know what I mean? It was fun, and it was really cool. There was like somebody was, and I don't know why people walk their dogs at the mall. Like, leave your fucking dogs at the house, bro. Like, this isn't fucking the zoo. This isn't a dog park, bro. This is a mall. If you bring your pit bull, your chihuahua, like, why do you do that? My dog, literally, if I took him to the mall, he would fucking go bananas. He would like bark especially if you've seen other dogs. Ooh, Presley, you would fucking, you know what I mean? You would fucking just start going crazy. But Presley's good with like kids and people that want to pet him and stuff like that. He's just not good with other dogs. And the fucking stupid shit about that is people bring their dogs to the mall, which is dumb as fuck to me. So while we're at the mall, there was this dog. I don't know what they're called, but their fur looks like sheep wool or something like that. Almost looks like a rug almost, you know. And as we're playing, I hear some other guy tell the guy with the dog, you know, hey, my dog looks like that looks like my dog. And I look over, I was like, oh, that's funny. That looks like my carpet. And you know what I mean? Like, it was just funny to me because, like, I'm not trying to be a dickhead. I'm just, like, trying to, you know, that's how I grew up, bro. Like, my family, they always tell jokes. There's always, like, you know, almost like disrespectful jokes, which is funny to me. Like, it's funny to me now, but when I was a kid, I would just take it very personally and disrespectfully. But now it's kind of weird. Like, that's kind of like, I guess, like my built-in programming to where I kind of like crack on people. Like, I joke. Literally, it pisses people off, and it just reminds me of how I used to be when I was a kid, where like my uncles or something, they would make fun of me or something like that, and I'll take it all personally, you know what I mean? But I guess you need that because you need to be desensitized to people who make fun of you or like just want to, you know, humiliate you, because humility is like the highest form of like grounding yourself. Like, if people praise you, all this and that, you become like Homelander syndrome, where you think like, oh, I'm the best, and like you think everyone should kiss your ass and suck your dick when you walk by them and shit like that. Versus like, no, man, you gotta get broken down sometimes. You gotta be, man, look at that, look at your hair, man, you look like a goofy ass, a boomer food looking motherfucker. You know what I mean? Not like that, but like, oh man, like your shoes remind me of like a bum or something like that. Like look, like, you know what I mean? Or what are those? Like, that's like a, you know, a classic. You know, it's not necessarily disrespectful, but it's funny shit. You know what I mean? Where did this even come from? Oh, the dog. So yeah, like I don't make fun of people because of like, you know, I want to hurt them or I want to be mean or rude or whatever. It's just that's how I literally grew up. Like, my uncles, they would crack jokes about me, like. And it's not to be disrespectful. It's just really like we're genuinely trying to like be funny, but not trying to. We're not gonna coddle you. Like, I was never coddled. I was never like positive energy, like good vibes and all that. No, it was more so like, you know, realistic shit. And, you know, if you were wearing some funny shit, it's like, why you got them funny looking fucking sandals on? Like, what do you think, you were a Spartan or something? Like, that's what I'm talking about, you know. And but on the flip side of that, it's like, if you're wearing clean shit, it's like, oh, like, that's a nice jacket. Like, oh, look at Mr. Wapo over here. You know what I mean? So it's not, I was raised like you weren't going to get bagged on all the time, but it wasn't necessarily like you're safe from all like jokes, you know what I mean? If you're wearing some goofy shit or like, what is this fool doing? Like, why are you talking like that or acting like that? Like, literally, some of my family members be like they'll make fun of like some of the way I talk, or like, do you think you're black? Like, literally, my family members are telling me like, why do you think you're black? I don't think I'm black. You think I think I'm black, and that's that, bro. Like, this isn't a character. Like, when I talk on the podcast, this isn't a show, bro. Like, literally, this is how I talk with my family. And it took a little minute for my family to realize, like, this is how I am and shit. But it's all good, bro. Like, I'm not over here like, my family doesn't like me and all this shit. Like, no, bro. Like, this is fucking real life shit. And if you want to be a bitch because, like, people make fun of you, or you feel like your family, you know, doesn't accept you, then, bro, like, you just gotta figure your shit out, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you, because, like, you know, this isn't, like, just speaking for my family, this isn't, like, we're not trying to, like, bash each other, at least most of the time. But, you know, that's just how we are, bro, and you gotta accept people for how they are. You know, not everybody is gonna be nice to you. Not everybody is going to be mean to you. So you kind of got to walk that fine line and just realize that, have it in your head like, oh, like nothing is serious. Like there's some dude at my work who has really bad fucking jokes. Like the way he like jokes around is borderline disrespectful. I don't think it's funny. It's a little too far and shit. Like I asked him, you know what I mean? Hey, you need some help? And he's like, oh, you going to drive my truck? And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you're gonna help. So you're gonna drive my truck. I said, yeah, bro, if they give me your check, I'll drive your truck. I'll do whatever they need me to do, bro. Cause fucking, you know, like what the fuck? Like it didn't even faze me. I didn't even take it disrespectfully. Even though kind of in the back of my head, I was like, you know, fuck this fool. But like, you know, you gotta hit him with that. Like, oh, you're gonna drive my truck? Yeah, if you give me your check. What's up? Run it. What's good? And some people, they just don't, you know, some people bitch out. There's some other coworker of mine. He like gets all shy and embarrassed, and sometimes you can see it in his fucking face. He don't even know what to say. He don't even know how to react to it. And that's fine. Everyone's different, bro. But that's not how I was raised. It was like you're gonna get clowned on. You're gonna make fun of. No one's gonna coddle you. You know, no one thinks you're special. You're not special. You know what I mean? You're gonna get made fun of. You're gonna be out in the open for interpretation, whether that's good or bad. It's not always bad. It's not always good. So that's all I'm saying when it comes to like, you know, people that don't understand that, or if they do understand that, a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people don't, I feel like, and a lot of them do be women, not to make it a misogynistic, you know, male female thing, but I was at work and I needed my time card, and you know, I try to badge myself in the door, but it only takes like certain badges. So I was like, what the fuck? What's up with the door? And this lady, she's just sitting there and she's like, what do you need? I'm like, I need a time card. You know, I was trying to get in. She's like, well, that's what we're here for. In the back of my head, I'm like, well, if that's what you're here for, get the fuck up and give me my time card, bitch. Like, what the fuck? That's how I was, you know, that's me taking it personally and all this shit. But what I ended up telling her, well, I was like, well, you know what I mean? There it is. Like, give me, you know, let me get a time card. She gives me my time card and I'm filling it out or whatever. And then like, for whatever reason, they just kept talking to me about like something about, something like, oh, he's so aggressive or something like that. And I'm like, whoa, we can't joke around or something like that. I forgot. I literally fucked it all up right now. But like literally I was trying to joke around, but I guess these women, I don't know if it's like you get more than 3 women together and they become the feminist fucking fraternity or whatever it is. But my charm and my humor, to say the least, didn't work at that point. Which I'm not over here trying to be the charm wizard and shit like that. I'm not really looking to be friends with nobody, especially at work. Because at work, a lot of people are really fucking dickheads that they say dumb things that aren't funny. Or, you know, they think that because they're at work and shit, you're not going to say nothing. But trust me, if we're anywhere else besides work, I'd be like, yo, if you got a fucking problem with me, we could step outside and we can handle this well, however way you want it, bro, because I'm really not in the fucking whole mood to be getting shit taken by a fucking idiot like you. That's how I feel like sometimes when I think about it. But then I'm at work. I'm here to get paid. I'm not here to fucking be disrespected by no puto. So I'm just gonna let it slide, because if we were anywhere else, the shit would be a different scenario. So with the whole Dratini Community Day, to make a fucking long story longer, I just had a good time with the homies. And that was Saturday. Sunday, the homie Abe the Freak, shout out the homie Abe the Freak, you know what I mean? He sent me a beat. I think it was Saturday, I think it might have been, no, it was Friday night or something like that, Friday. And then Saturday night, I wrote the verse. I hit him up. I'm like, yo, I'm done with the verse. I shot him the video of me rapping to it. Sunday, he invited me to a studio, which is right there in downtown Ontario. I love that shit. I always love going right there in the city. And his studio is pretty firme, you know what I mean? It's not like a big fucking like elaborate Hollywood studio where they got a bowl of fucking, candy in like a giant mixing board with a big ass monitor, and you could see the person in the studio like, hey, you want to do that again? Like, are you sure you want to do another take? No, bro, literally it's a small little room studio, probably no bigger than my room here, and you could just get your work done. And that's a great studio to me. I don't need 50 people in the room talking about, yeah, man, that's dope, man. Like, no, we're here to work, bro. We're not here to be fucking sipping, popping nothing, smoking nothing. We're not here to do nothing besides work, bro. And if you're not here to work, if you're not no women that's contributing no kind of great positive energy to the movement, you need to get the fuck out of the studio, bro. I don't give a fuck who you are. There's stories I've heard about artists who just waste studio time, and I honestly don't know what the fuck you're doing when you do all that bullshit. Because I think we were in the studio 2 hours. I recorded the verse, mixed the verse, and I got my verse done. Boom, end of the story. And I was talking with Abe, the homie Abe, the freak, more than we were working, and that wasn't on accident. I was literally like building with him. We were talking shit, and it wasn't just like about like music shit either. Like, he was talking to me about performing shows, his mixtape. I was telling him how like the verse went, like the story, my cousin Cisarin and his whole shit, and we were just kind of building in the studio, and it was just a cool experience, you know what I mean? And I even put him on some games, some knowledge, you know what I mean? How I mix, how I master, and I do my whole shit. And I was telling him, you know what I mean? It's cool that we can have an engineer and a mixer and a master to do our verses, but when it comes to me, I know how I want my shit to sound like. I know, Presley, you gotta fucking... I'm in an important part of the story and you're fucking it up. Hold on, just hold on. Hold on, let me get this out and I'll get you out of here, all right? Hold up. So... I know how I want my voice to sound. I know what I want to hear from myself. And I hear the vocals are all fucked up. It's muddy. It's not mixed right. I'm going to get mad. I'm going to hit the engineer up and be like, yo, it sounds like shit. Oh, but this is how I do it. No, bro, I don't want that shit. I want my verse done a certain way. It's going to happen a certain way. You pay me. I came here. You're going to get your money's worth. I'm going to do my verse. I'm going to get it done the way I want to do it. That's what you paid for. You didn't pay me to come and do my shit and just leave it like fucking on like whatever artists do. They just record their shit and they let other people fuck with it. No, I've been mixing and mastering and producing my own music forever. There hasn't been one song I've done where I've just been like, oh, hey, you know what I mean? Anyone could just fuck with it and mix it and do it however they want to do it. Fuck no. It's literally always been me doing how I want to do it because that's the kind of artist I am. I take care of business. I do my music the way I want to do it. And anyone else that wants to do their shit their way, hey, that's great. They could do it the way they want to do it. But me personally, there is like I have a whole like fucking, you know what I mean, preset. You know what I mean? I want to do my shit the way I want to do it. And you know what I mean? So shout out to Abe the Freak. Thank you for, you know what I mean, taking me to the studio, offering me studio time and all that shit. I'll probably most definitely hit him up at some point, you know what I mean? But I already got my own studio here. So it's like, I don't need it. But I mean, it's always there, you know what I mean? That's what I appreciate. I'd rather him offer it to me and me be like, no, thank you, then somebody be like, yeah, if you want to be in my studio, you know what I mean? You got to bring through Jay-Z and you got to give me a fucking $1,000 and all that shit. Then I'm going to be like, you know what? Yeah, the train stops here, homie. Like, so shout out to him. That was really cool. Come on, boy. Eminem was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I thought that was really crazy. Do we have a rap Hall of Fame? Is Eminem in it? I'm not very sure. But for Eminem to be rapping as long as he's been rapping and to finally be on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is just kind of interesting to me. Shout out to him. But what I do what I will speak on is kind of like talent versus popularity. Obviously, Eminem should have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame since he won the fucking first ever rap Grammy. Obviously, Eminem deserved these accolades and awards that he gets, but it's rock and roll, bro. Do people who listen to Black Sabbath and fucking AC/DC and Metallica listen to, Run DMC, West Side Gun, Mahakami? I don't think so, bro. I wouldn't think they would. I mean, I listen to some of that stuff, but I wouldn't call myself a rock and roll fan like that. You know what I mean? I am a fan of rock music. I am a fan of rock and roll and stuff. That's not what I'm bumping. You get what I mean? Like today, like I've been on Pop Smoke. Like I wasn't really a big Pop Smoke fan and shit like that, but Pop Smoke is some of the only shit I've been listening to now. Like there's phases I go through. I'll only listen to Capone and Noriega, Lord Jamonte Ogban. I'll listen to strictly, Pop Smoke now. And I feel like Pop Smoke should be in the rap Hall of Fame, and I feel like Hip Hop Hall of Fame, whatever it is. I feel like more artists should already have those awards, because it's like, what are you gonna be? You got to be dead for 10 years to be accepted in front of like people who like don't really like fuck with this culture. Because if people who really did fuck with this rap culture, this hip hop culture, they would already. It would already be done already. These awards, these flowers would have been handed out. But for the fact that Eminem got to be accepted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, like as if, fucking he isn't already the superstar he is, it's kind of crazy to me, bro. And it makes me think, I don't really desire to be having these Pulitzer Prize winning Academy Award like awards and shit like that. I kind of just want to do my own music, and if you rock with it, you rock with it on some MF Doom shit, bro. Like, I'm really not too concerned with these awards, but if you get them, you get them. I'm just more like talent versus popularity, bro. Triple X, he's a superstar, deserves all them flowers. Pop Smoke deserves flowers. Takeoff, rest in peace, deserves those flowers. Rest in peace to Tame 1 and Hurricane G, man. I can't believe we're already 40 minutes into this podcast, and Tame, one of the Artifacts, and Hurricane G, I think she's from New Jersey, I might be wrong, or Spanish Harlem, but they passed away, I think, like within like crazy, like 15 minutes of each other, something crazy like that. But these artists that deserve the recognition aren't getting the awards or the right amount of attention that they deserve. The people know for sure. The fans know. The who's knows of their you know what I mean, like their status in hip hop. I mean, I guess Tame 1 and Hurricane G, you could argue that they weren't the biggest well-known rappers in the game. They were well known though with the fans, and I just think that's really dope. And if they're not inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I mean, that doesn't knock them. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that they're any less. But shout out to Eminem, bro. That's all I'm saying. And rest in peace to Tame 1 and Hurricane G, bro. Really, really sad. Peace and blessings and prayers to the family and friends and loved ones of Tame 1 and Hurricane G. And just going back to Pop Smoke real quick, I really fuck with this drill, especially Brooklyn drill. I mean, we already had Chicago drill, which is really cool. Like, I really fuck with Chief Keef, Lil Reese, what's his name? His cousin, Chief Keef's cousin, Fredo and Fredo Santana, hard. Rest in peace to him as well. What's my dude? G Herbo. He used to go by Lil Herb, which is crazy. I remember like the song Lil Herb when he was still Lil Herb, like right before he was G Herbo. He changed his name, Lil Herb, and Earl Sweatshirt. Remember when I used to skip school, so hit the block instead? Diaries of a Knucklehead. I love that song, man. I wish, bro, if they made a whole album, literally it would bring like the obscure underground LA sound, Earl Sweatshirt, with like the whole drill, what's his name, Herb, G Herbo, and they literally could have had like a whole movement going. But I mean, hey, that's just not how things work out. That was, I think, for the Red Bull, right? Was that for Red Bull or Adult Swim? Now thinking about it, I think it was part of the Adult Swim singles that I think Between Villains was a part of with Captain Murphy. Captain Murphy has a song with MF Doom, bro. How crazy is that? I need a Captain Murphy verse. Captain Murphy, where you at? Captain Murphy. I need a verse. But anyway, going back to Pop Smoke, bro. I've been really into his music. I just love his whole vibe and shit. I know I'm late. I know. Whatever. I don't care. I just really love his music. Now, that's the vibe I really need. You know, that's really influencing my music. And I can't keep... I mean, as much as I love Wu-Tang and Big and Nas and all that, I can't keep listening to the same music and expecting new material that is gonna keep elevating. You know what I mean? I wasn't into Pop Smoke. I'm just getting into Pop Smoke. You know, I love songs like Invincible, Shake the Room, Welcome to the Party, I think it's called, Dior, Awesome, Foreigner, that's fucking Foreigner, Make That Bitch Fall in Love, whatever that, bro, that song is hard as hell. So I've just been kind of in like my Pop Smoke zone. And I want to say rest in peace to Pop Smoke. Really, like, him, Triple X, and Nipsey were like three people that were murdered that I was like, wow, bro. Like, if they just stayed alive, but if they weren't murdered, they would have gone on to do great music. Pop Smoke, he already had a song with Quavo, bro. And he wasn't as big as he should have been. You know, he had the, you know, Shorty a little baddie, Shorty, you know, that song was hard as fuck. I forgot the other song, but literally they could have all been doing greater music and on a greater things, but you know, unfortunately they didn't. But you know, God has a plan for all his angels, and you know, I can't give Pop Smoke his praises enough because he's inspiring me. And his music is literally taking on a whole different life for me and my whole journey through this music. So I just want to give, you know, his flowers and you know, rest easy to the homie. Rest in peace to Tame 1 and Hurricane G. This is the God's Hour.
Mad Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. He wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now while the angels fly over my head.